kidding. I remember at the start of all this that there was consequences. I remember being gentle and kind with you. I remember being nothing but a decent human being where you're concerned, with the exception of once or twice where you actually told me to take you apart, which I attempted to, and then you got red in my face and we went back and forth for the whole evening, saying things to each other that were not very loving and not very kind at all. The fact that I didn't phone you at all during a 4-year absence, the fact that you fell apart apparently during that point in time, the fact that you were excused from your job, the fact that now I have to wait on things that are supposedly coming my way, if they're coming my way, the fact that, and that's not even the kicker, the fact that I'm going back to school, which excites me, the fact that WorkBC is going to pay for my training, which is fine, the fact that I let go of some things on social media that I probably shouldn't have, that had something to do with the shelter that you work at, the fact that on more than one occasion you have told me that you're going to come see me and yet you have not, the fact that over the last little while more than one person can see that I'm showing signs of mental abuse and wear and tear by a current, not a past situation that I find myself in. The fact that really the only thing I said at the start of this conversation was simply, if you're going to show up, show up. If you're not, don't. But the one thing that I said quite simply was, I just didn't want to be on the hook again for somebody that wasn't going to show up. And I said it very calmly, and I said that very nicely. Over the past little while, this morning included, I had to talk to somebody claiming to be your boyfriend. I finally got upset and threatened to fight him down at McDonald's at Willow Park Mall. You guys have been putting little write-ups down there stating that I don't have morals, I don't have rules, and I don't flinch. So apparently we're still in the midst of studying just who I am. If I would shown you by now that I do love and care about you, there's not much more I can do, considering my limited resources. Otherwise, you'd be getting flowers every day of the week. I saw my stepmother this morning. She didn't say anything to me. That kind of bugged me. My sister and I are not talking after what happened the other night, but we weren't talking before anyway. At Christmas, I told my brother-in-law I'd fight him and I'd make him kill me, because I was near the point of suicide when I first got to Barclays Shelter. I told the lady that I was going to get a DNR, do not resuscitate, if I should ever go to the hospital and I was incapacitated or near death, that they would just let me die. I was at McDonald's when I was on the street in Rutland here, and I was down the hill and I was eating my food, and I guess the lady could see me starting to cry. So the song came piped over the air with the PA system, I Think I Want to Marry You by Bruno Mars. And that lady from Compass House came in and sat down and we talked for a bit. She was friends with Jim. I don't know if you, of course you know who she is, but I know that Tree Trunk was here a little while ago too. And that's somebody, your former client, I think, or something like that. And I know that Desiree had gotten a hold of me and said, you need to go back to Compass, because she could see that the streets was kind of wearing on me this time around, or that time around. And I said, no, I'm going to stick it out here. And she's like, I really think you need to go, though. That's my vote, she says. I really think you need to hop on the bus and get there. I know the text messages have been misleading. I know that one of them stated that I was going to get used when I got there till the wheels came off. I know that over the last time I was there, I got a huge shit for not sharing enough. And people were not happy that I wasn't exactly forthcoming with my resources, although they weren't many. I know that I'm getting uncomfortable talking on social media on a constant basis. And I know that certain things that were shared between us rub me the wrong way. But I also know I'm over that. I don't hate you. But when I see what I saw earlier this evening, that bugged the fuck out of me. I said it in a very calm fashion, in a very calm voice. But what you gotta understand is there's only so much that a man can take. And I know that we've been going in one direction and kind of spinning our wheels a little bit, and I know there's a message on there on a constant basis that states careful, and he's not getting everything that we promised him or we're going to give him quite yet. So whatever this is keeps getting put off, if it's anything at all, mind you. Which bugs the fuck out of me, because there really wouldn't be a more appropriate time. And now that I'm outside and broke and penniless and homeless, but apparently somebody's waiting for me to pull one more comeback out of my hat. And that's the other thing that pisses me off, is when you do those on a constant basis, they kind of wear on you a little bit. And when they wear on you a little bit, you get frustrated, you constantly have to pull yourself up right before someone knocks you down. And then it just gets to the point it's like, why fight? And then I've got people on this particular YouTube right now that are basically stating I don't like responsibility. I paid my child support. I have had things in place to get things in honest run and things for like ages, and then it all simply just falls apart. And I am standing on pins and needles right now, and part of that is sharing my life on fucking YouTube and thinking that someone's going to get a hold of something that they can use, and then I'm really going to be fucking screwed. Now I get that you have other things going on in your life right now, and you hear or see me pressure you, but however, when you say something to the nature of, yes, I'm going to come see you, or yes, I'm going to do this, or yes, I'm going to go do that, if you're the one that brings it up, to lie to you and say that I wouldn't be expecting you to actually show up would be completely false. And I see Kathy's on here, and so that tells me that mother's come to lay down the law a little bit, and I get it. But when you tell me you're going to show up, then I expect you to come. When I tell you something that I'm going to do, then you expect me to do it. And I didn't even bring it up. It was just like what had happened earlier after I had said what I said to my uncle in order to get him off what I thought was your back, was basically like a big fuck you. Because in that particular point, it was like I had basically done that because I thought he was hurting you. And of course, he says perception and perspective is not 100% of what's actually going on, or any percent of what's actually going on. And I get that. I get it, right? I get it. But I didn't rush to judgment. I calmed my voice down super quick, and I said, if you say you're going to do something, then get it done. But again, there's that message that says he's not getting everything that he wants, or he's getting from us at this particular point. So that being said, I guess the only real thing that I have to do is play the waiting game of my piss that you know. I simply said, if you're going to show up, show up. That's all I said, and I kept my voice very level, and I did not raise it in the least, because the last thing I want is a redo of what happened this morning. But yes, when I first saw him that last night, and when I first was kind of mulling things over in my head, not pleased, not happy, not pleased. But did I end it amicably this morning and amiably as much as I possibly could? Fuck yeah. And Kathy, if you can listen to this, I'm sorry. I kept my voice level tonight. I did. I made sure she knew I was keeping my voice level. And I do love her. I like it totally and utterly and completely. It's just the fact that some of this stuff fucking drives me mental. And I'm sorry that you are obviously thinking that maybe I'm out of line. If I am, I apologize. But I feel like I gotta stick up for myself at some kind of point here, because if I don't, and I let this go, I feel like I'm gonna get run over. You know what I mean? And I'm not pissed. I love them both. I love you too. Not as like whatever, just as good people. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm simply saying that if you're gonna say something, then do it. That's the extent of it. That's it, and that's all.